Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to Infernal Shrines. It's where the miners are taking us to, and life is going to be weird as a result. Let me see here. I know I'm friends with at least one of the miners. Let me see if I can find them. Oh. What the heck are the teammates from TNT and here Wildheart Zeta doing together? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like it's just a matter of swapping the hat to fade, and this match will be ready. I am highly regretting my lack of water cups, and I'm also living in fear that I may... Okay, now Josh just joined the lobby. I didn't plan on having a co-caster today, and Josh is gone. Fascinating. Alright, looks like we're getting into game number 1. Map pick by the miners.
Infernal Shrines.
Actually, you know what? We're gonna add in some game music now, because I want to see what this does to the experience. Remember, between these two teams, the Minion Miners is the upcoming rookies from Nexus. Teal, however, has been in here for at least a season under the name of Team Happy Cloud. Teal bans out that blaze first. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, Himibo only has 2 tank picks left. Oh wait, what? That's not true, actually. They have more tank picks than that. But when they play the weird tank picks, they have a tendency to win with them. We can see anything from a Cho'Gall game to a Deathwing game, and Teal is going to be having a fun time as a result. Alright. Ooh. It looks like Teal is taking that Hogger on Delta. They're going to play this map conventionally. They're going to bring up the strength. Sir Mac of Cheese and Wesgura bring out their power picks. They are looking to draft comfort, regardless of whatever the meta is, and I'm all here for it. Junkrat, another highly meta pick right now from Chaotic. Great on these shrines. And more you see why Teal ended up banning out that Sylvanas. They're doing everything they can to make sure they can win the point and that they won't get taken down via split pushing like what happened the last time the miners came to this map. Josh? Probably not. They are a big roster. And Hanzo is banned. Fade is not going to get to play Hanzo this game. And Chromie is banned out. I think the miners like that pick.
Hell, it's about damn time.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the Deathwing main tank. The miners are going to do mining things. And this could be a minor problem for Teal. Greymane is open. There are some counter picks available. But Teal is going to have to make some decisions here on how to handle it. And it looks like the option is Leoric and Tyrael. That's a 4-man Leoric. It's important to recognize something. Leoric's damage reduction is only additive against the Deathwing's trait. It does not fully remove damage. In fact, you could say it's almost half as effective against Deathwing's total damage output. And the offlaner picked up by Marshall is Zool. Rocket Ride has been called. And we are going in to game number 1. I forgot how good the music was. It's bopping. Anyways, get those predictions in. And let's see a clean game of shrines from these two teams. Both of them are veterans who've been around for a long time. The spice shall continue. All right. Whoops. Here we are. Whoa! I should stop fidgeting with various household items. I know that my mic is going to pick them up on the camera. Anyways. For the minion miners, we have Himibo on Deathwing, Wesgora on Lucio, Mac of Cheese on Lunara, Wanum Soup on Tychus, and Marshall on Zool. For the side of Teal, we have Delta on Hogger, Fade on Leo, Junkrat, Chaotic on Junkrat, Brett Michaels on Lucio, the right wing, blah, and Galaxy Quest is on Tyrael. Both teams playing it slow, but Marshall steps on in with that Q. Galaxy Quest puts down the shield, and the wave takes very little damage initially. Himibo uses his W to dismount several members of Teal, and oh right, I need to do that. Marshall and Delta, just both doing their jobs, and that is a relentless fade there. And oh no, I missed a kill. The Lunara goes down. Marshall steps up, but Galaxy Quest just goes on in and puts the pressure down. Meanwhile, Delta's clearing up the lane. It's going to leave Marshall forced to go topside, and mid lane takes about a third of the gate's health from the first minute of the game. Minion miners look to control that central camp nice and quick, but the clear isn't all there, and Sir Mac of Cheese is getting ganked by a lot of Teal. In fact, it's looking like they're managing to control the 4-man rotations and make things difficult. Augur breaks the route via spin and makes it all the way up topside. It's a fast rotate. Galaxy Quest stalling out the miners. To recognize, I think at this stage of the game, that Himibo, unlike a lot of other tanks on Deathwing, can't really step up and force and control points. But what they can do is walk on Junkrat traps and make Chaotic's life a little bit miserable. It's a very annoying thing to deal with. Yeah, we might see Rocket Ride. That seems completely reasonable. Delta and Chaotic and one of two Rescura take down the camps about simultaneously. Delta's going to have to land one of the more difficult spins on this map. You have the back and forth here that needs to be lined up perfectly, but you also have the diamond spin with these 2 points right by the bushes and off of the Shrine Central coordinate itself. Man, I wish I had a key that allowed me to turn my mouse pointer on. Oh well. Delta's lining up the spin. Himibo's acting as double soaker. The miners are looking to build priority here, but that camp's already damaged for them. Delta does not appear to have a spin angle that he's comfortable with on this map. Oh. But he started nonetheless. Only lasted for a short period of time. It wasn't a truly infinite spin. Level 7s are up for both teams. And we see level points, so on and so forth, except Skyfall loop. Yeah, the builds are pretty standard. Nothing interesting here to see, I think. Oh. We see an attempted 4 corners spin by Delta. That one's also pretty fun. And they take down the point. No fuss or bus. But in that time, Marshall's going to get a good chance at chip here. In order for this to be worth it, Chaotic Fade and Galaxy Quest needs to damage these towers more than the amount that Marshall gets here in order to have made their efforts worth it. They break the side wall, they put the pressure on, but it's not looking good. It's looking like in this exchange, the miners actually came out on basically even terms. Or this was the worst case scenario for Teal. Hogger's a little bit difficult to control this point. It takes longer than the other ones where you can just sort of spin between the corner points indefinitely. Looks like there's going to be a bit of a big fight here. A lot of the control is going to be over these two camps as they come up. Minion miners forced to clear up the mid lane camp first. Good spins on the side of Delta, and good damage on the side of Fade. Wait a minute, did he actually? Oh yeah, he did actually take Neopesics here. Good on him. Meal Peasants, particularly useful for camp clear, so 4-man Leoric benefits quite a lot from it. Marshall's running a bit low on mana. Trigol's Essence should help even that out a bit later. And Ultimate's coming out for the side of Teal. Want him soup. Dashes out. And the ults get missed. Brett manages to cleanse the fear, though. Wait, not Brett. Yeah, it is Brett. I'm blind. Well-timed fear on Brett Marshall turns what could have been a disastrous engage from the side of Himibo into something relatively harmless. Cataclysm and the fear come down much longer. Oh, Wesdora gets booped, speeds out, dashes out, and he's fine. Marshall unleashes the danger, and Chaotic is taken down on the back line. Brett is also being chased at, but probably doesn't go quite down here. Wanted Soups, a little bit low on HP. Galaxy Quest is now chasing him. Speaking of which, oh, Galaxy Quest did go the Bruiser build. I know that's not the right main tank build most of the time, but it's the one I always go, so I didn't bat an eye at it. Marshall's managed to get some good chip in all of the lanes, in fact. If Minion Miners ever takes a point, they may be able to put it pretty far. Hulta and crew managed to get priority on these Bruiser camps. Sir Mac of Cheese, however, does have access to Nature's Culling. He's going to clear this out nice and quickly. Marshall on the retreat, but looking unharmed. There's a lot of displacement on the side of Teal, Judgment, Hogger's Q, and Junkrat's R and W. If you're Delta, all that means is you're going to have a headache every time you try to land up your ult. But he started to spin. Things are going to get rough now. It's up to Wanton Soup now to damage him. Otherwise, this one simply goes on over, and there is nothing that the Minion Miners can really do about it. This is a textbook Hogger game for this map. Go in, spin to win, and get out. However, that camp difference, as created by the Lunara of Sir Mac of Cheese and Marshall, has created some good push here. Delta's going to have to race up top side there to fight that lane. Meanwhile, once again, the Miners have successfully cleared out the Arcane Punisher before the gate goes down. It's going to be rough. From Fate, we're about to see 13 choices. We see Neosteel Scouting and Abolish Magic. Both of these will be very useful into the lineup they face. And we still see some undecided picks. Sword of Justice. Oh, and Marshall gets caught. Marshall manages to land a huge bile. Wesgara! I don't even know how he got there. But he's alive. Brett makes it out with about 100 HP. And you can still see the Leo 13 pick is a tough decision. He ultimately goes for Ominous Race. Remember, this only is effectively a 20% reduction to all hero damage that Deathwing does. And it's far less than that against Tychus, whose percent damage isn't affected at all. It's still, Fate appears to have judged it as a better option than either of the pure percent damage talents. Whether or not it'll pay dividends, only time will tell. Marshall's got some good chip with these things. Once again, it looks like the Miners have just managed to outperform Delta, who's taking the objectives with it, just by working towards it. Drill is now used. Wanton Soup tanks a lot of ults here. Wanton Soup goes down, making it 2 kills to nothing for the Miners, but once again, they've gotten strong chip. And it looks like Marshall's on the retreat. Delta's doing everything he can to stun him out, but cannot connect. Which means now Marshall is free to rotate back up top side. Sixteens are coming out for the Minion miners. Percent damage, percent healing, con flag, and likely going to be... Huh. I didn't know that was a talent. Oh well. Wait, that's percent damage. Oh, that makes sense. Interesting. We see Decrepify, Criterize, and Brett Michaels goes down. Galaxy Quest goes on in. Manages to get on out. Fade, also on the pursuit. Looks like Himibo's looking for this flight. Goes on in, catches the back line, gets a huge stun on Galaxy Quest, gets a fear on Galaxy Quest. Wesgara boops him to death. And Chaotic sneaks on out. And it looks like the Minion miners aren't content with having won a 3 kill for nothing situation. They're going on in proxy this camp. One and Soup takes a lot of damage here. Drops the drill. Himibo holds and controls the point. One and Soup gets dangerous. Oh, and Himibo goes down. Now Sir Mac and Cheese goes on in. Chaotic's taking a lot of damage here. Brett Michaels goes... Wow. So freaking close. Sir Mac and Cheese is likely going to go down here, but Fade... Just maybe... Ah, and the shield comes in. Putting paid any notion of him dying there. He won't fade away today. Chaotic looks to take the bot side camp. The Minion miners have taken out 2 forts at this point. This is especially important for Minion miners, that they have access to this extra lane priority from the catapults. Because with Deathwing main tank, with the inconsistencies of that thing's crowd control, they really need to be able to pick their fights. And one of the ways to do that is to put a time delay on things, put the pressure, get that macro going. And it appears that Delta may have gone AFK. Or lagged out. One or the other. And yeah, we'll be back in a short period of time. So, anyways, as I was saying, the big problem for the miners at this point is getting a push out, ending it. It looks like Delta's back. But the big problem for Teal is that they're going to have to eventually take a fight into the Deathwing main tank. They're going to have to get an engage on an unengageable tank. And that's going to be rough. It's really remarkable to see the miners move on in action and do their thing. Looks like Marshall's about to get hit by the Judgment. Wesgara gives him that shield. Marshall unleashes his ult. Marshall is almost certainly going to go down here, though. Looks like Wanton Soup popped it. Both his drill and the Frozen Punisher. That death is particularly unfortunate in time with his Frozen Punisher's timing. He's got a camp. He's got a catapult. But yeah. Alexia, I promise you, I do updates whenever 5 out of 6 of the matches have been played for the week. I promise, I'll reconsider Running Wild's position after that game. Anyways, not much has happened with this Punisher. And 20's come out for the miners. One of them, Mortal Wound, is going to be particularly annoying against the Brightwing anti-heal. House Party is active. Bob and Weave is active. Intensifying Toxin. Wait. and stood in fire. So, it's definitely an eclectic bunch of talents. And 20's coming out for the side of teal. No control is active, cannonball is active, fairy protector, and buried alive. Material could be anything from spell power to more consistent judgments, and it's Angel of Justice that's taken. That allows him to hit from higher range and more frequently. It's a big trap. But Himmy eats it without any real difficulties. Fade loses about half of his HP. Galaxy Quest finds himself trapped in a route. And Marshall backs on out. He knows that that flank has been seen, and he's not interested in getting caught. Deft maneuvering on the side of the miners. Deft maneuvering on the side of teal. At this stage, teal probably needs to win 2 more team fights in order to close out the win. But the miners, with their DPS potential, with their sieging potential, only really need to win 1. It's going to be tense for teal here. They have strong engage. They can catch and kill basically anyone on the side of Minion miners. But if they die while doing so, that could spiral into something that kills them. Delta gets that spin going. Wanton Soup, a little bit isolated, playing safe under the towers. And Sir Mac and Cheese is caught. This is the pick that they needed. Delta goes in. Only catches one with a fear. Lands a stun that gets cleansed out. Marshall's also on the back out. Ooh, Wanted Soup is getting no control down. But he makes it out due to his spell shield. Miner's likely going to lose that bot fort. Remember, Judgment's up in another 5 seconds. That cooldown reduction. Jesus Christ. Okay. Rick Castley, you're banned from making any kind of minor puns in this. Oh, wait, what? Whoa! That is another deep flank. That's another entomb. Marshall might be the next on the chopping block here. The stagger really could be a serious problem for the miners here. These objectives are getting stronger. There's a very real risk that the teal will run away with this one and go straight to core with it. Not guaranteed to work. The miners, after all, still have their anti-engage in Deathwing. They still have the ability to punish. But the side of teal is more capable of making picks up and now. Fade, Galaxy Quest, both of them can go in, get a kill before the rest of the miners see what happens, and get out. Unibo does a little bit of light breathing on Galaxy Quest. And Galaxy Quest goes in. Fade follows him in. Oh, that's a lot of damage. That's a double. That's a 2-man entomb. And 2 of the miners go down. Wesgara manages to bait Delta all the way to core with that spin, but the miners are down to 3, and they're likely going to lose a keep here. Sir Mac and Cheese needs to be very careful of Galaxy Quest here, as Judgment could turn this in a dime. Cannonball doing a lot of work. Miners got some decent push developing here, but Fade rotates and is going to be able to clear it out quickly and efficiently. Oh, Mac and Cheese catches breath, but he can't linger here for too long, otherwise Galaxy will give him a judgment with his name on it. Galaxy's looking for it. And Mac of Cheese gets out at the split second. Wesgara, if they get caught here, are in trouble. Himbo and Wesgara managed to get in, get out, take the camp. And Fade, sitting in that bush. The Wisp is probably going to scout him out. He kills it, but not before people know he's in that bush. Marshall and Wanton will have to be careful of Fade on the rotation here. Looks like another fort is going to get bled for the Miners. The Miners can't pick a fight. It's going to be really rough for them. Vote. Doesn't look to be too keen on jumping into that camp. Plays it slow, plays it safe. It's looking like this map is going to end in a way that the Miners don't prefer. If it ends with a race to the point control, the Miners can't get into the point, they won't be able to close out this win. Himbo zooms on in. Wesgara sees Fade. They chip him out. Brett disengages as quickly as possible. All comes down to the positioning on this one. The Miners can control this space and keep control of this space. They have a decent chance to win it. But now they're on the reverse problem. Oh, and Tomb catches Himbo. Nice. Nice kill number apparently has been called. And not much happens. Galaxy Quest looks like he's looking for a judgment. And Delta escapes with a spin to win. Galaxy Quest reveals himself. He's right-clicking. He's going in. Himbo loses about half his HP. Fade's going in again without an entomb this time. And back into the air. Both teams seem to be giving up a bit of the space. And it looks like the Miners are accepting that they're not going to take this deep. This shrine. Or, uh-oh. It's not looking good for the Miners right now. They're going to have to play it smart and win a fight well off of their standard control patterns. Marshall's dueling Galaxy Quest. Drill is down, and the objective is out. The Minion Miners are fighting past the... Oh, wow. Fade is taking a lot of damage here. And Fade goes down. Miners have a big push going on here, but that is going to be one nasty objective. That catapult hitting straight on core yet? No, it's not. The Miners are going to be able to mount a fairly free defense as a result of that kill, but they're not going to get too much chip in exchange for that. Very ballsy play on the side of the Miners. But doesn't really change anything about the actual status of the game. Once the next objective comes around, once that Hogger starts spinning, it's gonna be a bad time for them. That being said, though, if the next objective goes here, the Miners probably have their best possible chance of chasing it out. Seems like Teal's recognized this. They're looking to chip out that fort. It's unlikely that the Miners will be there to save it. And the next objective spawns mid. Straight open for the Miners. And, you know, they still have a well in this lane on the side of Teal. That's going to be rough. Himbo puts it down. Wesgara might get caught out in the open here. And out comes the shield. Himbo manages to land a big fear, but not before going down. Galaxy Quest taking that drill on head first, and down they go. The spin happens, and Marshall gets hit by a mutual kill. It's 2-1 for the side of Teal. Looks like they're going to give up their mid-keep as a result of this, though. And oh no! There goes another Miner. I'll be honest. I think it's perfectly reasonable for Teal to try to run core right now. But that'll be if their comp was normal. It's not. They brought out Leoric against Deathwing, and they only really have an anchor. It's a combination of Leoric and Tyrael hypercarry tank. This kind of hybridized thing really heavily sacrifices siege potential for Teal in exchange for having two semi-tanks who can both deal damage effectively. Ah, what the hell? I'm rambling. It's a Treble Bruiser comp. Treble Bruiser isn't great at siege.
Gathers power. Claim it in my name.
And it's looking like Teal's going to be able to take control over this point again, and Miners is going to have to deal with a 27-minute shrine going on in. And being two misses, the stun chain gets on, and Marshall survives the initial burst. This is what the Miners... Oh no, Delta gets eaten alive by Flame Breath. Wanted Soup absorbs it with his shield. And now the Miners have a good odds of taking this point. Hogger is gone. That's the pick they needed. Roots on Fade. Lanes are pushing out on the side of Teal here. Miners are going to have to win this, and they're going to have to win this fast. Galaxy Quest eats a lot of breath. Gets hit by a root. Thermech of Cheese. Eyeing that man, but doesn't really want to go in that deep. Oh, Fade my cat Marvel here. And it looks like Fade is actually going to go down. It's another pick for the side of Miners. They might turn this here and now. Oh no! Fade has been doing everything they can to stay in this game. They've equalized and surpassed the Miners in a lot of ways in terms of chip. But one bad fight and it could be that they lose it all. The false positive comeback is above and beyond one of the most painful ways to lose the game of Heroes of the Storm. And a 28-minute one at that. Looks like the Miners are going to be able to strip that shield in seconds. Himbo's Fear is out. And yeah, the core is just going to go down before Teal can do anything about it. That's 1 point for the Miners. Okay. Let's update that scoreboard, and let's give the Miners a star on Infernal Shrines. Hey, is there a way to turn the music off when it's in-game? It's alright. Solve that problem later. Anyways, yeah. Minion Miners take the win. DK, I only got muted one time. Most of the time, I've actually had my screen on the transition instead of the actual game, so people could hear all the audio, but they couldn't hear everything else. Well, they couldn't actually see the game. Bleh. But yeah. I will try not to mute myself so you guys can all keep hearing the sound of my dulcet and droll voice. Seriously though, where's that lobby? Lobby? The Minion Miners are currently deciding map. Yay. Soon we'll be able to join. Alright. We are going to Dragonshire. This is map pick number 2 for the miners. And let's see here. How do I update that? Oh, right. Activating Gigascuffed protocols. Aligning circle. Circle aligned straight in the middle of the dragon so that you can't actually see the number 2 on it. Okay, I need to update that part more than any other part of the system. Oh well. This is how we improve the casting. One scuffed realization after another. This is what it means to be doing something for the love of the thing. It is what it means to be an amateur. Probably you know, there's a part of me that's tempted to mute my microphone while I'm opening a window. There's also a part of me that's just, you know, completely horrified of the prospect of me muting it and forgetting to turn it back on. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, miners. Start that second game. Actually, I don't even know what the miners do when they take Dragonshire. I'm also surprised that they didn't take Ultrac Pass, given that it was open. Definitely main tank slaps on this map.
Dragonshire.
Alright. Let's go to the best map in Heroes of the Storm. Dragonshire! Lunara is banned out. Minion Miners have learned their lesson about Sir Mac of Cheese's Lunara. That is one of the comfort and power picks of the Minion Miners. And the Miners are not going to get it this round. Let's see here. What do the Miners learn from it? Oh, they ban out Joe. What? Zero correlation to what Teal just played. They're just taking out a strong tank and saying, yeah, what you gonna do about it? We have a strategy. You can just react to us. And the Lucio, another power pick. Just disappears. Wesgara, if you look at his scouting detailing in a vacuum, it doesn't look like he's played that much Lucio. Then you realize how many fucking times he's been banned out on Lucio. And then you realize, oh, there's a reason why he doesn't play it all that often. Frankly, though, taking Sound Barrier into that lineup, it was absolutely an inspired move. Especially when Entomb can completely prevent your ability to do saves. Delta brings out that Hogger. Still a strong pick. But not as strong as it was previously. Feels like Teal, when they're drafting against an opponent who isn't here. The miners do not follow the meta, and you do not want to ban against them and counterpick against them as if you are fighting an opponent that will take the meta. The miners operate by their own rules. Fade brings out the Diablo, and Chaotic brings out the Falstad. Both good picks, both will give a lot of control for this map, and offer unique advantages late game in the form of their combo. It's looking like Teal's formed a solid draft so far, but it's always important to remember Sylvanas doesn't care about team fights that much. Sure, she's good in them. Ooh. And it looks like that Hanzo got banned out. Makes sense. Wait, is it Fate's Hanzo? I don't even remember at this point. It's been so long since I fought Teal. Well, Team Happy Cloud. And Ahaka is taken out. We might see a bit of Blaze main tank here. Garrosh and Tychus. Wait a minute. Junkrat's still up. What? Junkrat is still up. Minion Miners needs an anchor. So does Teal. It has to be taken here, right? There it is, the Junkrat and the Anduin. Teal's got a strong composition, and I forgot to start the prediction because I was too busy laying down on the mattress. Teal. Alright, I'm going to give you all 5 minutes. And I'm just... There's their offlaner. A lot of percent damage potential on the side of the miners here. If Sylvanas and Tychus both go that building, Fade could spend the majority of this game quivering in fear in bushes. Or it's entirely possible that the miners will just spend this game doing drills and black arrows and killing structures without a care in the world. It's important to recognize that while I think that the side of Teal is more than capable of getting a Dragon Knight, if they get a Dragon Knight without a few key kills on the side of the miners, okay, Bob, don't make me paranoid. Okay, I hate you, Bob. Alright, here we go. On the side of Teal, we have Fade on Diablo, Delta on Hogger, Chaotic on Falstad, Galaxy Quest on Junkrat, Brett Michaels on Anduin. On the side of the miners, we have Marshall on Sonya, Wesgar on Deckard, Wanted Soup on Tychus, Sir Mac of Cheese on Sylvanas, and Himibo on the Garrosh. Indeed, this is a miner's composition that is actually a fairly conventional pick composition. I didn't believe they had it in them, but here it is. And Himibo whiffs and sprays for his first combo of the game. Ooh, we're seeing some spicy shit on the side of Teal. It looks like they're looking for a Hogger double Q combo. Diablo wallbangs off of it, Hogger wallbangs off of it. We got a lot of wallbangers on the side of Teal. Yeah, I hate you all. I really do. Anyways, Marshall and Delta trading into the wave. Not much is happening there. And these siege camps are started 10 minutes after 1, 10 seconds after 1 by both teams. Marshall starting a little bit of double choke shenanigans here. But Marshall might just go down. Nope. Gets thrown out. The Hogger barely makes it out with less than about 3 bars of HP. And things are back to the status quo. I mean, I'm really surprised in the miners. No cheese to start with. No shenanigans. I didn't think they had it in them. Just play a conventional game of Heroes of the Storm. But that's what you need to know of the miners. They will always surprise you. It's like Marshall stepping onto the point. Delta's going to have to stick around a bit for some of the clear. And Westra lives. Fade goes down. They're pushing into a Junkrat. And they're doing damage. Oh, what? Wanted Soup manages to make it outside, although Himibo stuns his healer instead of saving Wanted Soup. I've been there before. I hate Garrosh for that exact reason. And Fade gets caught. Actually, speaking of which, talents. Yeah, it is full-on percent damage. Fade is going to have a rough time this game. And Delta starts to spin. Himibo's looking for someone to take this DK point. A lot of soaks getting missed down bot side. And it looks like Wanted Soup is going down to respawn. Delta's using this time to take a nice free bruiser camp. And is going to use it to create advantage. It keeps Marshall on his toes. Wanted Soup steps into the point. He's going to have to deal with the Junkrat traps. Especially on the way back. Galaxy Quest doesn't have any traps to save himself, though, now that he's used it to box Wanted Soup in. He makes it out with 170 HP. Why is that a common number? Oh, yeah, because that's the number. It's the base minimal. And oh, no! Sonya goes down. Same time. And Galaxy Quest with the counter kill. Well, Wanted Soup with the counter kill on Galaxy Quest, but me and muddling up my words should be a welcome sight to everyone now. And it's 4 minutes in, and the first fort goes down to the side of the miners. That bot side fort is generally considered one of the most important structures of the game. But now poor Marshall going in, trying to defend this. Taking control of that top point is going to be a nightmarish challenge for Marshall. Himibo heads on down. But Fade or Delta might catch him out here and force him to rotate safer. And it looks like Fade is on the prowl for a camp steal, but the miners are not where he was hoping they'd be. There will be no Kafka special today. Ooh, it looks like Delta might peek out Marshall here. Marshall still does that camp. Wesker, Himibo, and the rest are coming. Delta knows he has to get out here, but that spin doesn't do enough. Delta's been hit by the pummel, and Delta goes down. Marshall, however, didn't cap the camp in all of that chaos, and is now going to have to go back for it. Meanwhile, Squad of Teals using this opportunity to take down a little bit of that wall bot side. Invo's going on in, threatening Chaotic, and ults are out. Chaotic gets stunned, thrown, and taunted mid-dash. Wanted gets booped in range. Oh no, Wanted Soup is isolated from his healer, and Wanted Soup goes down. Huh. You know, Marshall's taking down those walls. Delta's definitely a little bit lower on HP than he wants to be, and Fade is here to become a problem. Wallbang just misses slightly, Pummel hits Marshall, and Chaotic's down here. This is a 3-man gank. Marshall is running, Marshall's spinning, Delta's also spinning, but Marshall gets out after being forced to use Leap. Himibo is trying to catch this point. Galaxy Quest has been difficult for him. Oh, and we see a mind control miss 2 members of Teal there. This is going to be a pick jamboree. Wanted Soup steps on out. Dodges the pummel. Himibo cannot wait any longer. Himibo catches a minion. And Himibo is getting blasted. Taunt got used. There's a double sleep. And what a gust. Wesgara is going to have to go out the back door, but Wesgara just goes down. And Himibo goes down now as well. Woo! Looking like the first DK. Nope. Sir Mac of Cheese has created more stall. The Benny Hills begins. Sir Mac of Cheese can't quite force Delta out, and the point goes down. Marshall's casting up the soak, making a deficit for 13. Wanted Soup makes it out, is pushed out, and the DK goes over to the side of Teal. Gonna have to be careful with this DK though. It's a lot of percent damage to run into. Oh, and we see an interesting talent on the side of Fade. Devastating Charge. Not the most popular, but oof, it is so satisfying to land. And that Dragon Knight punts out Wanted Soup, punts out his mortal enemy, and not much else is happening. Marshall gets caught on the rotation and is gently reminded to stay in his own lane. Wanted Soup starts pew-pew-pewing, and the Dragon Knight... I don't think the Dragon Knight even gets a tower. Oh, Marshall throws out the leap. Marshall's hit by the stun. Marshall goes down. Delta is coming in with the rotation. Might catch someone on the flank, but opts instead to return and relax. Fade's looking for this invade. It's one of the dangerous ones. Himibo manages to catch him. He can throw them out. But that opportunity hasn't presented itself. Mac of Cheese clearing out that lane. Keeping on moving. Damage continues. Yeah, this widened screen just feels better now. And the Bruiser camp goes down to the side of Teal. Oh boy. One of the big problems with these two teams is neither of them particularly emphasizes kills. They are a meats and potatoes. And whoa, Fade contradicted me there and just went on in. When they play, there's some fun stuff that you can expect to see happen. But, oh, Marshall catches him out. But yeah, they generally are conservative on the kills and don't die too often. But Marshall just goes down. Chaotic might be forced to use Gust out here. That's a 2-man stun. And Himibo goes down. Okay. Thank you, miners, for contradicting me. Have a nice day. This is looking like the start of a reverse sweep. Minion Miners is going to secure that on the bot side. And I am never going to talk about a team's general performance and general mode of operation ever again, because they surprise you all the time, and it makes you look like an idiot. Looks like Marshall's gonna get that camp. Ooh, this is invadable. At Dragon Knight, pumping it down, and okay, playing it slow. 16s are out for the side of the miners. We see percent damage. Jamboree continues. Seasoned Soldier, Life Drain, 15 numbers, anti grenade. Ooh. Once again, a leap saves Fade from an otherwise unfortunate end. Chaotic, meanwhile, is using this conflict to just take it for it. Here we go. Step it all out. And want to soup. What? What just happened? But seriously though, what just happened? That charge interaction was so weird. Oh no! There goes Himibo. Wait. He's still going! That man has Hardened Shield! That was a huge flashy play. Teal used every single art. Minion Miners used every single art ult, but nobody died. And Himibo has his Indom. Makes it out with about 44 HP at one point. That's a 2-man sleep. And Circummatch goes on in. That is a huge Hogger stun and spin, and the camp still goes to the miners, but the miners haven't killed anyone. Ooh, Marshall gets caught on this point, but Fate cannot afford to stand on this for long. He's gonna get out using Marshall. That's really unfortunate for the miners. They may get out with other side of Teal, basically nothing.
It won't be long before the shrines are ready for the taking.
Oh, and Galaxy Quest forced to drop his ult and die. Sir Mac and Cheese, why do you walk into that? You're insane. You didn't need to, my brother. Oh well, some people just like feeding the enemy team extra damage numbers to make them feel better about themselves. Sir Mac of Cheese appears to be that kind of generous soul. And Himibo just running at 3 members of Teal with no one backing him up. He's like one of those ducks you see that browbeats a cow into submission. Like, absolutely, I see Himibo's spirit animal as one of the proud raptors of the North. The Canadian goose. 20s are out for the side of, you know, Teal. And what do we have here? It's Wind Tunnel, it's Hellgate, so I guess they can do an impromptu wind tunnel, ruin combo. It's power spike. And it's censure. So those cannonballs we saw last game. Minion miners gonna have to take a lot of work to get it back up. What in soup is stepping on out. Oh, spray and pray. I haven't seen that one in a while. Although Kubil Tychus is not that uncommon. And it looks like Minion miners are running down to this point. They're going to try to get it just before it caps. And the Benny Hills continues. Minion miners are just about half a level away. By the time Delta can make it down here, it's likely that the miners will have already hit 20. TL has a clear advantage going into this fight, but there is nothing stopping the miners from making this a domination. We might just see a reverse sweep, we might see a blip in the middle, or we might see a domination. Nobody can tell you what the future holds. Inner Rage is active, and that's going to put a lot of pain on Diablo's capacities. Minion miners just stepping on in. Delta opts to go for the Dragon Knight instead. And it looks like Fate just barely dies. No! Yes! Wow! At DK, he's going to be able to take a fort, but it's really uncertain whether it's going to do anything else.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Oh, Marshall gets kicked back into the rest of his team. Sir Mac Cheese can't percent damage it out, as you can't slow a DK. It's unstoppable. Wanna Soup, on the other hand, absolutely can. Fade, hiding behind that invisible bush. They're looking for a pick on Hemibo. And Hemibo is gonna get wallbang comboed. But Hemibo makes it out with about 500, effectively about 1,000 HP. Wanna Soup keeps on hitting that DK down. And Marshall clears up the catapult's topside. The miners maybe down 2 katas, but they are not out of this game yet. Hemibo looks for a pick. And the throw lands as the DK goes down. It looks like Delta was completely blindsided by that move. Chaotic doesn't have anything for the peel here. It's all up to Galaxy Quest to put down those mines and make it impossible for the Minion miners to go further. You see, they're Minion mines. They're Minion mines. I tried way too hard with that one. They're a minor problem. Oh my god, that has like 5 different meanings. That's pretty good. And that Bruiser camp is taken out. And Delta's dead for a few more seconds. Just like that. Miners have equalized the catapult situation. Miners are death balling this point. Galaxy Quest clears out that camp in a few seconds. And Teal makes it out just barely before the miners collapse on this camp. They might catch Marshall on this point, so they set off for their own camp.
Prepare yourselves, heroes. The shrines will soon be active again.
A little bit of chip happening down here. A little bit of Silk getting missed. But this stage of the game, that's much less important than you can imagine. Danger Pains are coming out on Delta. Hemibo walks into a trap. It's all a question now whether or not... Oh, he doesn't see it. He gets stun comboed. He manages to land the root. Oh, and Marshall's on the back line, but Delta's forced up the rest. Hemibo goes down. Marshall is likely going to be next here whenever Delta's cooldowns come back up. And Fade goes in with the wall charge. Well, the gate charge. Bleh. And it's looking like that's 2 miners down. This is no longer a minor problem. Oh yeah, No, it's not the drill. It's bob and weave. Looks like. Gonna put Delta into that DK. And it looks like it's going mid.
The Dragon Knight shall reduce you.
It's gonna give about 10 seconds of 4v5 action for the side of teal. They can push this out and take a keep here. We're one step closer to winning. This fight goes wrong for the miners, it's game over.
Red team has destroyed.
Playing slow with the DK. Galaxy Quest gets hit by the spray and pray. Just keeps on moving. Dragon Knight steps out. They're using this DK slow and steady. They're looking to do as much damage as they can to the miners without overextending and look for a pick. Fade walks on into the entirety of the miner lineup and disappears. He does not have full souls. He is not coming back. Once again, we see another reversal. Heroic is the bee's knees. A 55% HP Dragon Knight that just doesn't get to do anything. Oh, the boop just barely misses. Westgrub doesn't need to trap. Himibo does. Him my bow. And Diablo's back online. Still anybody's game. I just want to spam the plus bar key like 500 times and accelerate to the action right now. This tension is killing me. One false move, the miners lose. One false move, teal loses. Let's look at Diablo's souls. He just needs another 4 and he can come back. I see another 3 over here. It'd be a shame if he stepped up for them and then died and was at 99 souls. Wouldn't it be? Miners take the initiative on bot side. But Diablo is still 3 souls short. Won't be after this wave, but it'd be really nasty to think about it. Oh, Fade goes in. Fade gets 100 souls. Light Bomb hits. Marshall's on the back line. Fade lands a huge bit. Marshall's still there. Oh no, Marshall gets a double kill. And Fade goes down. It's a triple kill. And Himibo throws the wanted soup onto. Oh no, that's 3 kills. If there were anybody but Junkrat left alive right now, I'd call this game right now. But that's a Sylvanas. This keep is no more. Now it's all Galaxy Quest can do to buy 30 seconds. Really not looking good. Stir Mac of Cheese dies. Oh, Wanted Soups at 700. False set's coming up in 5 seconds. Anduin's coming up in a few more. Wanted Soup keeps on getting those potions. Whole lot of damage needs to go out. Chaotic doesn't make it out. Wanted Soup fires out his ult. Core's at 30%. Desperate last planet play. And there we go. The Minion Miners take another win. Let's do interview. Yeah. Where's that lobby? Anyways, I do believe I interviewed the miners last week. It's perfectly reasonable if they don't show up today. And let's cut the music for now. Oof. Nope. Yeah, let's move back to that so I don't. But yeah. As far as I can tell, the miners are fine without an interview, but I'll ask one more time. Oh,
Yo,
hey Marsh.
what up?
So, how you feeling now that you've beaten one of the veteran teams of
You know, I just want to say
Heroic?
that I hope there were a lot of people watching because we both teams played very well, and I was very happy with the games. And
Yeah.
that last game was one of the closest games we've had in like
I mean,
years. I want to say that was
they were both
a crazy game.
They were both incredibly close games. Like
That last game was one of the most exciting games like I played in so long.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
We've got a number of comments from other tank mains like DK, Ribbon on Teal here, but yeah, when the game is going that long, when the pressure starts to mount, when you've gotten so many DKs and you can't quite finish it, it's absolutely understandable why that pressure can get to you.
We had pretty decent burning against the DK as well.
Yeah,
so
the
it's
Tychus
hard to end with just the DK.
The Tychus did a lot to stop that.
Oh yeah, the laser is pretty ridiculous at burning the DK. So,
but the sheer number of picks that the Anduin also stopped in that second game, just with those well-timed pulls.
Yeah, we considered banning the Anduin. I don't know what the right decision was. The Hanzo ult is disgusting with the Diablo combo and all that.
Teal does have a mean. Teal does have a mean Hanzo, so won't fault you that, Ben.
I think the traps are really interesting too. We weren't like totally sure what to expect. They kind of have like a roster rearrange. I don't know how familiar you are with Team Happy Cloud, but back when we played them in like Div A, I want to say they had who was it? I'm trying to remember. Their healer was not Brett Michaels. Brett Michaels was playing damage, and then somebody else on their team was playing healer. I can't remember who. Let me see. Look it up real fast. Delta. I think Delta was healing back then. So I think they've made some adjustments on roles. So
the roles, I think, are one of the one. They're one of the one teams that swaps it up the most every season.
Yeah, I think in game one, their Tychus or their Tyrael player and their Leo switched. Like game one against new team, they played almost the exact same comp, but the Tyrael played Leo and the Leo played Tyrael.
Huh.
So, I'm pretty sure, anyways.
I did not know.
Yeah. Fun fact of the night.
Yeah. So what do you think about that Leoric 13 into Deathwing? The one that reduces damage.
I mean, I don't think that they really needed the extra damage to kill Deathwing. Like, when they were doing well, it was from picks. So the whole point of their comp, right, is like you barrel in onto somebody with Tyrael, and then you spooky walk from across the map and get a pick with Entomb. So it was, I mean, they got more kills than we did, so the picks were working. It was just hard for them to control the map and end the game. It's kind of a similar story in game 2. I'm pretty sure they had more kills than us in game 2 as well. Yeah. So
in both games, the big difference between the two was that in game 1, you guys built out an early advantage, ended up bit by bit losing it to the last couple of Punishers.
Yeah,
and then came back for it late game, won a fight, and just completely turned the game around.
Yeah, they were both really good games. Like I said, those were awesome. But they definitely, as far as on the, I think how many more kills do they have us in the second game? Do you know?
Something like 10.
Look it up.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot of good picks, but you guys turtled in, and I don't know, like some point after the third DK, that just died without really creating any advantages or pushing to core. I think Fade was really getting antsy and looking for those picks.
That Diablo, we caught him out in that bottom bush on our side of the map later in the game. I think, is that what you're talking about? That was kind of
like that last game.
What is this guy doing here?
Yeah, and I mean, it was working out for him. He was getting picks, but it does feel frustrating when those picks don't get turned and capitalized into something. And other than the Tychus, what do you think the big reason was for both these games why Teal couldn't really turn a lot of those picks into, something to create a win condition?
So I think in the first game, probably it just was... actually, probably similarly in both games. We weren't like getting team wiped, right? Like we would lose like a person or two, right? Like we'd get picked, and then we would just turtle up and focus objective. And in the first game they had triple bruiser, and in the second game they had Falstad and Junkrat. So they had a bit more siege in the second game, but in the first game I want to say that it was the triple bruiser comp kind of made it difficult for them to do anything with the objectives, with only like one or two of us dead, right? Because you're not really sieging all that great. So I think that's the story of the first game. The second game, I think it was kind of similar, but I don't know. It did seem a little bit to me like they were kind of they didn't really look to establish a win condition. I feel like probably after they got 2 picks. They killed Garrosh and me later in the game, and they went and got the objective and walked it mid, and they ended up taking a keep. But I almost feel like they could have just split and started poking out a lane already, or like pushing it up a little bit harder, and then I don't know, maybe it wouldn't have worked out that way, but like I just didn't feel like they ever got a chance to establish a win condition. So I'd have to review the game to understand exactly how that works, but
yeah. I think you've definitely identified the major problem being that, they had the tools to get picks, but they didn't really have the tools to kill structures fast. Because I remember last week when you guys were up against LTK, when you drafted that Cho'Gall camp, you had the ability to take 2 forts just like that when LTK dropped their guard.
Well, LTK kind of had a similar where when they went Cho'Gall, they established that win condition super early on by sneaking that bottom keep, and they ended up killing themselves for it. But like in their minds, it's worth it, right? Because if we misstep at all and lose any fight, then the game's just over. We just lose.
Yeah, and more importantly, with the strategy they were running previously, they had 2 major death timer reductions that would allow them to make a lot more of those attempts, whittle down your core, and eventually take the win. So when you guys closed out that fight, caught their healer off guard, that really transformed that series from one where you guys were slated to lose in the next 3 minutes to one where you guys just won well before LTK could execute that plan.
Yeah, I think it's important to understand your win conditions and keep those in mind during the game. I think that's kind of tricky to do on top of everything else you're doing, you know?
Yeah, and I think you guys definitely played for your win conditions this game. You sought out an early game lead in game 1, really did a good job of controlling the engages, really did a good job of trying to make sure that people survived, and I think it's once Wesgara managed to land that save on your Zool. I'm forgetting the names here because I'm bad with that.
It's okay. Yeah, I was on the
Marsh.
It was Marshall.
Yeah, it was you. Yeah, it was you.
Yeah. Yeah, Wes had 2 clutch in game 1 and 2.
But when that last save happened, when their pick comp failed, they couldn't win the team fight, and you guys managed to just absolutely storm them. And I think you saw a similar story in game 2, where the big problem of pick comps is, and especially gank comps, is that you really need to look for those engages, and you need to keep on doing that, and you need to keep that momentum building. Otherwise, eventually you're just going to lose because you can't really do anything else.
Well, to their credit, they were executing the pick comp. Both pick comps extremely well. So, and historically, we don't do very well against pick comps.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we didn't do super well against these pick comps either. But at the very least, I think we're getting a little bit better at not.
I mean, the kind of
losing more than one. You know, like somebody gets picked, you just leave them.
The kind of chip.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, the kind of chip and split push oriented strategies you guys tend to favor definitely get punished hard by teams that look to gank. And you really need to be on the top of your game, calling those rotations out, looking for people, controlling vision, not lingering for too long. And yeah, you guys stayed on your toes, and good job. I look forward to doing more casts of you in the rest of the season.
Yeah,
maybe I'll be able.
Yeah. You doing more?
Yeah. About it? I am intending to do them so long as it doesn't interfere with either work or university. So I fully intend to have a blast. Well, work, university, and actually playing NGS.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we always appreciate the cast. So
yeah, and I always appreciate casting you guys.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
It's fun to see teams struggle with how to draft against you guys because you play by your own rules.
Yeah.
And that's awesome to see. It's awesome to see that. It's awesome to see that a drastically divergent approach is having a lot of success in Heroic Division. And hey, go out there, win a few more rounds, and make a splash, yeah?
Oh, yeah. That's our goal. And we're just here to have fun, and we've been doing NGS for so long, so we super love it. It's awesome.
But yeah.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, and I hope you have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Thanks again for the cast.
Cheers. All right. I think that about wraps it all up. Congrats on Minion Miners. And folks on Teal, keep pushing forward. Keep improving what you're doing. You aren't on the wrong track. What you guys can do can work. Just do your best. And once again, have a good night, everybody.